My name is Scour Umschlag, and this is my DIY wooden expanding table. If you'd like to expand it, there's only 2 steps. You rotate this skirt to drop it down, and then we rotate the table itself. To give it extra support in the expanded position, we're going to raise this skirt underneath back up and lock it in. And that's it. Larger table. If you'd like to make it smaller, we do those steps in reverse. Lower the skirt down. Now I'm sure you're curious how it works, and before I show you that, I would just like to point out that this is kind of a development model, if you will, of the table. So there's plenty of pencil marks and other signs of progress on the inside. The legs are a little plain also. Those are all easy enough to change in a better version. So let's see the inside. The way that the ring works is that it has bolts which go through and hold bearings on the inside. And then these ride on ramps which are on the outside of the table's support level and allow it to go back and forth and up and down. If you want to remove it, we have a slot to the left so you can just hop it over the end and drop down through there. That's what we're going to do here, and that'll allow us to have a look at the inside. Looking at the side of the table can be a little intimidating because there are quite a few things going on here. So I think it's important to hop to an overhead view and just point out that this is symmetrical in both the vertical and horizontal directions. So on the left we have it closed and on the right we have it expanded. If we split those apart into the quadrants that I just mentioned, you can see that it's really just the same thing 4 times. So we're going to look at this overhead to show the expansion, and you only really need to look at 1/4 at a time. For the expansion part of the motion, it's pretty simple. There's a hub in the center which does not rotate, and around it are a bunch of slides which are in slots that go out radially, and those do rotate with the table. There's 8 here because there's 4 main slides and then 4 that come up. So there's 8 arms total. But really the important thing is just to see how the arm wraps around. And so as you rotate it, it pushes it out, and then you go past the furthest point and it pulls it back in. For the lifting component, I'm going to mix in 2 clips. This is a recent one which shows the roller rotating past, and then we're going to cut to this older one here which tracks it as it goes along. And what the roller does is it flips down into a slot with a ramp and then rides up that ramp. Now the reason that it has to flip down is sort of beyond the scope of this video, but there's 4 of these and they're staggered since it goes greater than 180 degrees. So they're two of them are further in and 2 of them are further out. And these are just timed so that it lifts up the table when it's at its point of maximum expansion. Another interesting thing on this table is that there's actually 3 levels of surface panel when it's in the closed position, because the star has to sit below the rising panels, which have to sit below the main panels. So in any case, it sits down low and it's restrained horizontally by a linear bearing in the center, and then it lifts up and down on these levers. And coming up with that simple lever solution was very time consuming. Sometimes it's easier to come up with a complicated solution. One final note on the table. Last year, after receiving quite a few requests and inquiries from people, I went ahead and put together a set of plans for the table. And this year, after we have just completed making some updates and changes to it, adding the skirt, various little tweaks, we have updated the plans. This is a paper copy here. They're also available on our website, mechanicallumber.com. There's a link down below here and also in the description. And I'd love for you to come check out the site. We have other projects as well. A counterweight desk, a cradle that has counterweights. You wind it up and then it rocks itself. And not to mention the projects that are in the pipeline we've been working on behind the scenes. We even got a new tool that we just bought today, right there behind the camera. So I'd love for you to come check it out and see our future work. Thank you.